Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about some wasteful things I used to do. I've teamed up with a couple of other content creators, so wait till the end to see a little surprise. If you like these kind of videos, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe if you are new here and you want to see more things sustainable living and low impact. I think these videos are really important because people like me on the internet showing people how to live a bit more sustainably or showing that there is a way often need to show the fact that they've come from a place of incredible waste. And I can guarantee that I'm probably a lot more, or used to be a lot more wasteful than the majority of you guys watching this video. And I think it's important to show the journey because little steps make a massive difference, in my opinion. And so I think it's really important to show that progression. So grab a cup of tea and let's get straight into the video. Okay, the first one. I used to buy new hair extensions every single month. They definitely looked terrible and I absolutely never got the most out of them. This was during a time in sixth form where I was kind of straightening my hair and I really wanted boys to kind of notice me, and I knew so little about the damage that hair extensions can do to your hair. And the glue that I used would basically mean that I pulled strips of hair out of my hair when I took the hair extensions out. It actually got to a point where my hair was so short and so thin that I genuinely never thought my hair would actually recover and be how it is today. And of course, I knew nothing about how unethical hair extensions were, and the more I learned, the more I realised that this is not something I want to participate in, and I just need to get over myself and look into more natural ways of taking care of my hair and being a bit more ethical. And I really believe that this all stems from kind of, again, like society's ideal beauty standards, because curly hair certainly wasn't beautiful when I was young, and it certainly wasn't represented anywhere, and it certainly wasn't kind of heralded as this beautiful thing. And so I felt like I needed to straighten my hair and to have long hair to feel pretty, and it's had a lot of long-term damaging effects on my hair and also like my self-esteem. Honestly, nothing makes me happier than seeing curly hair and textured hair being celebrated online, because natural hair is so beautiful and we just need to celebrate it more. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Number 2. I used to spend my money that I earned from my Saturday job on fast fashion every single weekend. This fast fashion habit honestly took years to overcome, and again it does stem back to this whole wanting to fit in and look like my friends and have the same clothes that my friends had, and societal pressure and peer pressure to feel like I could fit in, and it all goes into these beauty standards, and it just pains me to see how much money I wasted and how many clothes I wasted just by wanting to fit in so badly. Slowly but surely I learned the true environmental and human cost of fast fashion, and I'm pleased to say that I have managed to really just kind of move away from it. And I know it's not easy for everyone to move away from fast fashion, but it's one of the best things that you can do for your environmental footprint and also to be more ethical as well. Number 3, I used to buy fake eyelashes for every single new party that was literally happening every single weekend that I would go to. A whole set. Obviously, every single thing about fake eyelashes is just single use. I mean, there are ways of having, I think you can get implants or whatever now, or whatever they are, to have like more, but obviously I was like a teenager. I could only afford like the small packets, and everything about them was single use, everything about them was disposable, and I never took care of them, so I couldn't reuse them even if I tried. And it's not even like the little kind of eyelashes that was the most wasteful thing. It was the plastic packaging that it came in that was massive. Like, I couldn't believe how much plastic packaging came for just 2 little slugs that just go on your eyes, you know? Not quite sure why my camera decided to film all of that in sepia, but I guess they think that fake eyelashes are particularly wasteful. Who knows? Let's move on to the next one. Number 4, I used to wear cheap fake nails that I'd get from like Sainsbury's, and I just do them every single week. Every week. Okay, I 100% used to wear fake nails because I wanted to look more feminine, and got so many problematic things with fake nails, in my opinion. For the way that I use them, of course. Not, I don't mean that for the way that other people use them, but just for the way that I was using them. Just so many problematic things. And guys, can you really see the picture of this coming? Like, hair extensions, fake eyelashes, fake nails, like, I was just trying to be someone else. That's literally what I was trying to do. Anyway, we don't need to go on about this. Let's move on. Number 5, I used to buy a new eyeshadow palette like every single month when a new one came out. The worst thing about this is that palettes aren't inherently wasteful, I don't think. Well, I mean, maybe the process of them is, but I genuinely believe if you buy something and you use the whole thing, like that's the most sustainable option than getting a better option and not really using it. But the problem here was that I would buy them and then I just wouldn't use all of them. There'd be so many like eyeshadows that I just wouldn't ever think to use because they were blue or whatever. And that to me is the most wasteful aspect of me buying all of these palettes. I genuinely needed one palette with 3 eyeshadows. That was it. That's all I would basically ever use. So for me, that was a massive waste. But again, it's because I didn't use them. If you buy palettes and you actually use them and enjoy them for what they are, then I don't think that is unsustainable. I think that is a good use of an item. For me, it was incredibly wasteful. Number 6, I literally used to buy anything that was on sale. If it was on sale, mostly jewellery, I had to have it. Is this potentially the worst one? I think possibly. I definitely don't see the problem with some kind of sales because I think it does allow people who can't afford to buy things, you know, full price, allows them to buy the things that they need for sure. It's definitely my habits and using a sale as an excuse to buy things that I really didn't need. And the worst thing is, like now during lockdown, I have all of this jewellery that I've been looking at that's just been sitting in my cupboard for years and years and years. And the worst thing about it is I don't know what to do with it because a lot of it I can't donate, I can't really recycle it, no one would want to buy it and no one would want to take it. So I'm just left with this kind of idea of maybe I'm going to have to throw it away, and that's really upsetting to me. But also I think it's a great thing that I'm actually having to deal with the waste of my past now when I have a more sustainable perspective. But man, it really upsets me to see how wasteful I was. But you know what? It's all good learning and it's good to reflect on where we've been because of where we are today. And I think it's so important that we give ourselves grace, but also, you know, acknowledge some of the things that we did and also acknowledge that yes, some of it's our fault, but also a lot of it is, you know, companies and brands for making such shitty things that we end up throwing away. And also governments, like brands should be responsible for their items from the moment they produce them to their end result. They should all have recycling systems, etc. So good reflection time, I think. Okay, so this video is actually in collaboration with Shelby from Shelbizzle, of course. Did you expect it? I bet you did. And also Catherine from Going Zero Waste. And we challenged each other to share 1 or 2 of our wasteful habits so that we could try and guess whose was whose. So I've got 2 of theirs down below that we are going to, down below? When I say down below, that's not what I mean. I have 2 of theirs here that I'm gonna guess whose is whose. So I'm gonna talk about it and we'll see if you guys have got it right as well. Okay, so the first one is my sibling and I used to drive separately to school just so we each would be able to drive and feel cool. Okay. I can guarantee this is Shelby because she is obsessed with her Prius that she drives now. She is obsessed with her car. She loves it. She honestly loves it. Also, because she lives in Texas and grew up in Texas, like obviously she had to have a car. Like I feel like in the US it's really just very car centric. So you guys, you know, have more of a reason to have a car than obviously say I would in London. So I bet you anything this is Shelby. Okay, the second one. I used to litter. Ooh, I would leave cups in fast food parking lots instead of taking them to the bin. Okay, they've used the word bin, which has really thrown me off because like that's an English thing or British thing. So that's really confused me. I reckon this must be Catherine if the other one's Shelby, and also because litter, I mean, Catherine talks a lot about, you know, litter that she picks up and kind of shows it and sort of calls out brands being like, hello, Pepsi, why have you left this here type thing. So I think that it must be her. Damn, Catherine, you used to litter? God, even I didn't used to litter. That's bad. That's bad. If you want to find out whose these are, head over to their videos so that you can check them out to see who littered and who drove their car separately to their sister to school. I used to walk to school, Shelby. disappointed. I'm joking. All of these things are really important to note because, as I said earlier, wasteful habits are something that need working on because we grow up in societies where advertising is absolutely rife. And also, especially if you're a teenager, this is when I did my most wasteful things, because when you grow up you really want to fit in, you want to be like other people, and there's so much societal and peer pressure put on you that it's really hard to make sure that you really align with, or also when you are a teenager, do you really know what your values are yet? Although actually, to be fair, that's not giving enough credit to youth today. I definitely didn't, but I think that the younger generations now are so much more well informed, and I think, do you know what, I think they're incredibly inspiring. So I'm gonna take that back, because I think my youth, like, we didn't have Instagram. God, that makes me sound so old. We didn't have, like, Facebook was just becoming a thing for people my age, and it was really just a university people's thing. So it was quite surprising, you know, or actually it's unsurprising to see that we didn't really, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever. The youth today, they are epic and incredibly inspiring. So go and check out their other videos, and if you missed my last video on 100 things to reuse and repurpose, I will link it here, because that for me is true sustainability, where we use what we already have and we just slightly move away from our consumerist habits. Anything, any step, however small, is super important and also really, really beneficial. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next week. See you later. Bye.